What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy AyeThatsAaron, and we are back at again with another NarutoxBoruto Storm Connection. And today we're going to be talking about the gameplay in the game and things I expect from the game. So, if you guys really enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, obviously just drop something in the comment section that you guys want me to do next. Also, before we continue with this video, there is a whopping 90% of y'all who are not even subscribed to the channel. If you guys enjoy this content so much, bro, man, drop a subscribe, bro. That's what keeps this channel going. Without further ado, let's get into this video, shall we? Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we basically learned from the first trailer that this game is just gonna be Storm 1 through 4, basically kind of recut, but maybe add a few things for it to be one consistent game, right? The bosses from Storm 1 all the way to Storm 4. If you look at the trailer, you see that there are some mechanics in Storm 4 that were not in previous Storm games. Like, for example, during the Sasuke versus Itachi fight, the fact that Sasuke was able to dash back and attack Itachi. Storm 2 never had that. You just went straight. That's all you did. You can never dash back and do those things. And it's very interesting that, you know, they're going to be keeping the same mechanics just throughout the story mode. And, you know what I'm saying, because I guess since Storm 4 was the most recent installment, it makes more sense to keep that kind of stuff. Now, for me personally, what I want in the game is there's a few mechanics that I want in the game, right? And we're going to tackle the basic ones that everyone's been asking for. The number one thing that people have been asking for is Jutsu clashes, right? In Storm 1, there was Jutsu clashes. You were able to clash literally damn near every Jutsu, and I thought that was kind of cool. Rasengan's, Chidori's, stuff like that. I do want them to bring that back into the game. Now, the difficult part is that there are not a lot of Jutsus that can be clashed like that, so I think what they should do is they should have Jutsus clash with their specific types, or they should figure out some sort of animation, I guess, to make it happen. Like in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, when Misa clashes with, let's say, Jotaro's fist, Jotaro is doing the ura while Misa is like shooting his gun and reloading really quickly to keep up with the clash, right? I think it's a pretty dope animation that they added in the game, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. Now, I was also talking about a different type of clash where it's like, okay, like chakra stuff versus chakra stuff, right? Like let's say close range chakra ninjutsus like Rasengan and Chidori, they get a clash, right? Rasengan and Palm's rotation, they get a clash. Another one could be long range jutsu, right? Like a water dragon versus a fireball. You see, even though the typing might cancel each other out, but I still think that'd be pretty cool to have. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. And then whenever it comes to taijutsu stuff, I think it should just, you know, be like taijutsu stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be a great fit for it. I think that would be pretty cool to add to the game. Now, I know that it might be difficult because sometimes, you know, sometimes it is an unfair mechanic because some people do have the ability to mash faster than others, but you could also chalk it up to skill. That's also a skill that people had to hone and get better at. So I feel as though that should be an option. When it comes to ranked matches, I feel like that should be an option to add in the game because for another example, JoJo's All-Star Battle R, you have an option to turn on or turn off easy beat combos, and that's basically if you mash the X button or the light button, it will automatically do a default combo, right? Some people have that on, some people have that off. I think that for ranked matches that we should be able to have that kind of option to turn on and turn off, if that makes sense, because I think that it will be able to allow people to have both a clashing and be able to choose comfortably what they want to fight as in the game, if that makes sense. Second mechanic that is obviously something that we all want to come back is wall fighting. Now, for Naruto Storm 1, wall fighting was very prevalent, and I think that it worked best for Naruto Storm 1 because the game was offline. There was no online play, and you didn't have to worry about that. Whenever you start mixing things into online, it gets a little tricky, right? With offline, you don't have to worry too much about netcode and stuff like that that could throw off the match. With online, the way that people play professionally in Storm, the camera work plus the actual gameplay itself can be kind of tricky. It could be a very high pace and fast game, which can really throw off the camera and or netcode, and they can cause some glitches, right? So for example, in Storm 4, sometimes if you do a combo too close to a wall and it goes into an animation, someone's already knocked out of bounds. It's a very common thing in most of these games where it's just like you're knocked outside the map, you can't come back in. Same thing for Naruto Boruto Shinobi Striker. There's sometimes like whenever you use a specific jutsu or ultimate, you'll be put outside the map, and that's it. You're just put outside the map. And I think that's also a big fear of adding wall fighting back into the game, because you know, hey, like, it's constant shifting of camera. It's a constant camera shift. You know what I'm saying? You're zooming in whenever they're on the wall. You're zooming out when one person's on the wall, one person's on the ground, and then you zoom back in whenever someone is on the ground. And it can be kind of tricky. I'm not even gonna lie to you, and I can't blame them for that. So, but I do want wall fighting to be in the game. I want it to probably be a little bit more stable. I think that what they should probably do is they should probably make maps a little bit bigger to accommodate to the wall fighting, so it doesn't feel like these characters could fall off so easily, if that makes sense. Because if you do a combo on the wall, it knocks them to the ground. Like it knocks them straight to the ground. And that can really mess up the gameplay of most fights. So I think what they should do is they should make some maps just a little bit bigger to accommodate for the wall fighting. So we don't have to constantly worry about, okay, if I finish this combo string on him, he's just going to be knocked down to the ground. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something they can do for online to really make that work. The next thing that I think they should do is, that they did in the story mode, if you play the Storm 4 story mode, is whenever you fight on the wall, you have different jutsus and you have different sets, like combo sets, right? It's not wholeheartedly different jutsus, but like, hear me out, right? So, for example, if you do Kakashi's Chidori from the wall, he jumps straight down like a sniper attack, right? Instead of having to, you know, charge it up and run down the wall. I think that's pretty good. I think that adds a different level of tactic to the game. I think that really makes you think like, okay, when he's on the ground with Kakashi, I know he's going to run towards me, like it's okay. But whenever he's in the air, it's like a boom, sniper attack. I think that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it adds more tactic and variety to the game. Kid Obito, when he's on the ground, he shoots one fireball. But when he's in the air, or correction, whenever he's on the wall, he shoots 3 fireballs that fire off consecutively. I like that a lot too, because it would be kind of pointless to just have Obito up there shoot one fireball, because there's a very high likelihood that he would miss. And the fact that he would miss would just kind of ruin the point of you being able to play as Obito. So I think that we should be able to have moves that cater to the wall, so people can be able to do what they have to do without feeling like they're sacrificing something, right? Because I don't want people to feel like they need to drop certain characters because they don't have good wall fighting abilities, right? Like, for example, Neji. Neji has palms rotation as his ninjutsu. They could probably drop, you know, air palm as he's on the wall, something like that. I think that'd be pretty good choice, and I think that it would be able to allow some characters who are more close range to accommodate to characters who are long range, because long range characters are going to be able to have that ability to keep up and do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? So that's fair. The next thing that I want them to add is, I want them to add those mob boss modes that they have in the game. And the reason I say I want to add that is because I feel as though, I think that would add a lot to the online experience. I feel as though that people will be able to finally get to play things other than fighting. For example, we loved the tournament mode when it first came out in Naruto Generations. People did tournaments left and right, because you were finally able to play with your friends, see how your friends play, and be able to learn as you're competing in the tournament. Like, and then whenever you hit that end, you just felt so satisfied because you won a tournament. I think that by adding that raid boss mode, it will be pretty fun. And it's because that's been something they've been adding to the game since, I want to say, Naruto Storm Revolution. I think, no, Naruto Storm 3, I'm tripping, because I remember Sasuke was like tearing through the samurai. And I think that'd be pretty cool, because it will be able to allow up to 4 people be able to duke it out on the battlefield. And if you think that that's not going to work, please check out Naruto Storm Revolution. The way they had that game on Naruto Storm Revolution, where we were able to grind on rails, collect orbs, Chidoris, Rasenkans, ultimates, they handled it so nicely. It was a very nice mechanic offline, and they already had it catered to it, right? And it's the same thing that they took and they added in My Hero 1 Justice 2, where you're able to play online with your friends, but it had to be, the other person had to be local. And the fact that they were able to put that in My Hero 1 Justice 2 means that they do have the ability to put that online. They just haven't gotten a chance to put it in the Storm games, and I feel as though that they should do that kind of stuff. They need to take that extra leap. If this is going to be Naruto Storm Connections, and this is probably going to be like the last installment of the franchise and be, you know, a thank you for everything, I think that they should add that into the game. I think that should be able to be playable without us having to worry about, without people having to hop on PC and mod it so they can be able to play with their friends. I think they're truly missing out on something that will be absolutely fire. Like, I think that'd be pretty cool. And even if you don't even want to add the raid thing as like an online thing, allow this correction as a versus thing. Allow it to be more of a co-op thing, or let's say it's just like you and your friends tearing through White Zetsu, the Rain Village ninjas that, you know, Kakashi and Kid Obito went through and stuff like that with your friends. Feel like you're able to tear through all of them in a way where you can be able to compete and see who got more kills, who got more ninjutsus, who got more X, Y, and Z. And I think it'd be a great fun competitive thing to add to the game, if that makes sense. Now, we're going to start talking about the gameplay portion, right? And with the gameplay portion, I'm going to incorporate some other games to make my stance. For example, Demon Slayer The Hinokami Chronicles is going to be one of the main things I'm going to bring up, because that was one of the recent installments by CC2 and Bandai. No, they weren't. That wasn't made by Bandai, but it was CC2 though. So my only issue with the Storm game was there was 4 substitutions and they came back very quickly. The health bars were very long, right? I get that they've been expanding the health bars since the previous games, but I do think the health bar is ridiculously long sometimes. And I think the fact that we have 4 substitutions, it kind of takes away from the experience. I just feel as though there's too many mistakes that can be made for a player that allows them to feel like they never learned anything. Like, for example, in Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles, you get 1 substitution for every, like, I want to say 15 seconds. Don't quote me on that. I want to say about 15 seconds. You get 1 substitution and your health bar is just 1 health bar. There are 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? You win 3 rounds, and I think, yeah, you win 3 rounds and you win the game. So the reason I like that a lot more is because it's just more, it takes more skill, in my opinion. I think it takes a lot more skill. Like the fact that you have to be cautious and be like, okay, I have to wait, because if I use my support to get me out this combo, I can't use my support for another 10 seconds. That was pretty smart thinking. You had to really think about it. You had to really accommodate to it. For Storm 4, it was kind of like, okay, 4 substitutions, and one of my characters will jump in front of the ultimate for me, and then on top of that, one of my characters will be able to guard for me if I'm about to get hit by ultimate as well. And it kind of just makes you be like, eh. Now, I remember, and I want to say Storm, either it was Storm 3 or Storm Revolution, when the supports had health bars, right? And if your support character took too much of an ult or took too much damage, they died and they did not come back for the rest of the game. I want that to come back. I think that that was such a great thing that they had in the game, and I feel as though that it would be able to add that extra level of, okay, competitiveness. Like, okay, if I take this ultimate, my support dies, and I can't play this game with only 1 support. You know what I'm saying? I think that it would be great for them to add that junk back so we could be able to have more strategic thinking without having to be oversaturated with 4 substitutions, 2 health bars, a support that takes an ultimate, and then a support that guards me on top of that. I don't think that it needs all that stuff. I think that it needs to just tone down the systems. Maybe 2 substitutions. Maybe be able to have and still do the support thing. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I think it'll be a great fit for the game. And honestly, I think that it will make it feel a lot more competitive if they did that. Now, the next thing, I love how the combat in Hinokami Chronicles was more, it wasn't as floaty. I feel like with the Storm franchise, it's very floaty, and I wasn't a big fan of that, right? Like with Demon Slayer, there's not really that many like ways for you to do air combos, and understandable. I mean, hey, they don't really fight in the air like that. I mean, they do, but they don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't stay in the air when they fight. And honestly, most Naruto characters don't stay in the air whenever they fight either. I like the combat in Demon Slayer because, like I said, it's just not as floaty, and the combat feels more stable, right? It feels more intimate, stable, and intense. Well, with Naruto, we have very big maps, very floaty characters, and characters that feel like they could damn near fly. And it just didn't feel as intimate, you know what I'm saying? And then the maps are so big that it encouraged running sometimes. And I kind of wish that they would, for this next game, they would make the maps a little bit more closer. For example, the map where Pain blows up the Leaf Village, right? Biggest map in the entire game. That is running central. And sometimes that can be a little bit too much. But on the other hand, like where Sasuke fought Killer Bee, very intimate, very small, and you don't have to worry about as much running because it's more of an enclosed space. Am I saying, hey, make all maps small? No. I'm saying that reduce like the jumping height by a little bit, not make it feel like we're constantly floating in the air, and be able to just let us, you know, be able to have stable combat. I think that's basically what it boils down to. I want to feel more stable. The Storm franchise, sometimes the combos and stuff like that, they don't feel as stable, and it's kind of iffy, you know what I'm saying? And I would just want them to tweak that just a little bit, The last thing that I want to talk about is I want to be able to customize the tools that our characters have in Battle in Storm 4. And the reason I say this is because I feel as though that there should be 2 game modes, right? I feel as though when you're about to do ranked, you should have one rank mode where you're able to customize what your character has. So for example, like with Naruto, I want Naruto to have, let's say, some paper bombs, a speed pill, and a stamina boost thing, versus what he normally gets in a match where it's like, you know, ramen and stuff like that. The reason I say this is because I think it will add for a lot more combinations and mix-up, because what a lot of people just do is they select a character for their team that they don't want to really use, but they know the items that come with them is beautiful. And so most people are just like, you know what, I'm okay with doing that and just switching. I think that we should be able to customize our little set, our ninja pouch, if you will, to be able to have what we want to optimize the things that we can do in the game. I think that it will be able to make combat much more interesting. I know that the Storm franchise isn't trying to aim for competitiveness, but most games try to aim for longevity, and if you have a game where you're able to balance out your own system, it will add some longevity to the game, because more people will try to make it more competitive in their own right. We'll have more combat, we'll have more tournaments, we'll have more leagues, we'll have more things that the fan base can do to themselves. And I feel as though by having that flexibility, it will make the game feel really great. But hey, that's just my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, just let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like these kind of ideas? Do you guys hate them? Just let me know in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, there's a whopping 90% of y'all who aren't subscribed. And if you guys enjoy my content, boy, subscribe please. And until next time, peace out.